Hello everyone, welcome to the Intel Teach Essential course. My name is Tran and I'm a student from class Interpretation and Translation. Today I'm going to present my plan for teaching Unit 11, Spend, which is provided by Complete First Certificate book. To begin with, I would like to introduce the outline of my presentation. First, I'll show you my portfolio. Second is my unit overview. Next is unit foundation. Fourth, I give you some details about my curriculum framing questions. And last but not least, I describe my assessment plan. Okay, now let's get started. This is my portfolio. As you can see, there are five main folders in my portfolio. There are assessments, student sample, student support, teacher support, and unit plan. In my assessments folder, there are anecdotal notes, brochure rubric, collaborative assessment, and presentation rubric, which I use to assess my students' final project. I will go in details later when we move to the assessment plan part. Next, in the student sample folder, I've already prepared a brochure sample. Here, this is my brochure sample, and also a presentation sample. So I believe that these samples will help my students have a general understanding of what they should do in their final project. In student support folder, I provided students with a number of documents, which are the journal prompt, here, the project plan, the student self-directed project plan, the spender checklist, which helps them to figure out what kind of spenders they are, and the word list of Unit 11. About teacher support, I use FCE Teacher's Book as the main material, and also prepare 2 other PowerPoint files to make my lecture even more interesting. And finally, my unit plan folder consists of my unit plan. Okay, so we've moved to my unit overview. Here, this is my unit overview, which I prepared to teach Unit 11. So let me summarize my unit. In this subject, students perform a number of tasks and group activities, focusing on the topic of spending money to improve 4 English skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. As they work through the unit activities, students discuss the topic in detail, learn more about money management, describe the feelings people have when shopping, figure out what kind of spender they are, and study many types of shops. They write a report giving suggestions for how money should be spent, and after having a deep understanding of the concept of this topic, students work in small groups, playing the role of the marketing department to prepare a brochure, do a slideshow presentation to introduce their shop, and promote their best products. Next, I introduce my unit foundation. As you can see, I choose Common European Framework, or reference for languages, learning, teaching, assessments as targeted content standards and benchmarks. After learning this unit, students will be able to use comprehension strategies such as skim, scan to synthesize information, determine the main points, and identify keywords from a reading passage. They can brainstorm, draft, and outline ideas in written journals. They can communicate, discuss ideas, and ask follow-up questions using proper pronunciation, stress, and intonation. They can clearly distinguish between as and like, apply the new vocabulary, sentence structures, and models, expressing their ability into both writing and speaking. They can give a standard oral presentation which impresses and convinces the listeners. They can design a brochure and also give observation assessments to other groups' products. The fourth part of my presentation, I'll show you my curriculum framing questions. So as you can see, my essential question is, do you prefer to spend or to earn? Students will respond to this question in their journals at the end of the unit. As students have already experienced playing the role of the marketing department, they may realize there are several obstacles to overcome to attract the customers and also learn a lot of money. Therefore, this question gives students an opportunity to make connection between what they have learned through the unit and what they have worked on during the final project. The unit questions are: what kind of spender are you? What kind of feelings do people have when going shopping? And what would you do if you were in charge of promoting a shop? Students will find the answers for these questions during the activities in class. Okay, and finally, my content questions are: what are the advantages and disadvantages of going to a shopping center? And what is a shop brochure? The last part of my presentation is my assessment plan. So here is my assessment timeline. I will describe it to you. So before project work begins, I'll use scoring guide because scoring guide gives students a clear explanation about how their work is assessed and what is expected before the project work begins. Also, journal prompts assist students in working on their written reflections on learning during the process so they can submit their journals at the end of the project. Questioning occurs throughout the project, from the beginning, during the project, and also after the project work is completed. Questioning helps students express their ideas, ask for clearer explanations, and also deal with challenges from the teacher. Students also have the chance to gauge their needs by brainstorming with their teammates. Project plans form, presentation rubric, brochure rubric. Here, this is my brochure rubric. You can see 4 criteria here: the content, the coherence, organization and design, grammar and punctuation, creativity and originality. This is my oral presentation rubric with, the criteria here to assess the students' work. Okay, so these materials help students to self-assess, monitor their work, and develop their own plans to keep track on their project in order to fulfill all the requirements. Anecdotal notes collected from observations are used by teachers throughout the unit as evidence to assess the student's final product. When project is completed and presented by students, teacher has students evaluate the characteristics of quality work by assessing the peers' work and assess their collaboration skills using group observation assessment. Okay, so that's all about my presentation and also my plan for teaching Unit 11. Okay, thank you for listening and have a good day.